Hey people, hope you're doing well. Diva here, and today I'm going to do a breakdown of my track Kingswood, which is out on Immersed. I'll just kind of go through from top to bottom, and then we'll look at the arrangement a little bit, rather than going through the kind of initial idea. If you go onto my Instagram, I have just done a post that briefly shows the initial idea, but that's also probably where you found this video from. But I thought I'd get back to doing some track breakdowns again, so this will be the first I'll do, and I'm probably going to go backwards and do the last track that I haven't done, and then we'll move forward. But so let's just start. Oh, actually, before we go, so this one I'd had for a little while, and I was really kind of struggling with the mix, and something just wasn't right about it. I ended up kind of ultimately changing the drums and the bass, which you can kind of see here. We've got these old unused sections, so I'll show you that as well, what we had. Yeah, we'll just go through it. So let me play you the track first from the drop. So there we go. Oh, and here's actually, I think this will be the old version, so I can show you this, how it sounded. So just something wasn't working for me there. It wasn't kind of exciting enough. And which is why I kind of changed everything. Oh, basically everything's muted in here. You're not going to hear it. I'll show you these here. So it's not major, it's not like a huge major kind of complete change, but I just kind of wanted to lean more into the kind of rhythmic kind of bass rather than the kind of sustained one. So let's go through this low end. On the group, we just got a clipper, which is barely kind of even going over. I don't know if it will, it probably does at some point. It's ever so slightly going over every now and then. I've probably just used it to kind of sort the level ever so slightly. Then this compressor afterwards. Again, just doing a dB. On the group, you've got the kick drum. Slight bit of EQ there. I mean, really minor kind of stuff there. Took a dip out. So, I mean, I probably wouldn't even do that now. Same with this, I wouldn't have put a compressor on that now, but there's a tiny bit of compression going on there. And this kind of saturator. That's just a kind of standard sidechain, just doing what sidechain does. So we've got the Respace. I think this is the same Respace from the old version, but I've just kind of put it up to a higher octave. With a duck, some EQ. Got this kind of Pluck bass. So if you look at that, it's just... The EQ there is doing quite a bit, as you can see. Again, a duck, some filter, the accent bass. That is the exact same. So here, oh, it's not the exact same, but I've just basically duplicated it. So everything on it's the same, changed the patch, and I've done some slight different changes with the EQ. I've basically, it's almost like I've inverted them. But that one's just playing, so if you play this with this. You put the kick in there as well. I just kind of tried to make it play a groove off each other. And then we've got the sub. Again, you can see I've just duplicated the channel and I'll just change the EQ. And then that sub bass isn't being used. I think that's from the old one. So that's the low end. The drums. Again, a bit of clipping, just taking off a very small amount. I don't know what, if we look, if we did here, let's get rid of that. So it's going up to like -9. So it's doing a very small amount, just helping me with them peaks ever so slightly. And then we've got, again, I've got a duck on the actual bus. And that's it. Obviously I must have tried this kind of tape, but then not bothered. So we've got these claps here. 2 layered, and I'm kind of just moving this top one off grid slightly. No, barely anything on that. And then some saturation again. I mean, I must have just bought that or downloaded this that day, because I've never used that since. So I do this a lot with my hats. So I have a reverb on it, and then a duck right after. And I also set my hats up like this, so you're not really hearing the first one, but it kind of adds to the groove. If I can show it in, let me just do this and delete these. It just adds, for me, it adds to the groove, makes it feels better. And I'll just add the duck on there, so you're not really hearing it go, kind of go. I just want it on the off, but that kind of one on the downbeat really does add a little something. Close hats, super simple. I've kind of took out a lot of the lows. I've just basically come all the way up to just include like the kind of mids and the highs. And these are just playing a simple pattern. I don't know if I've done any. No, I've not even done any LFOs with that. Then a bunch of loops. Play these. Simple stuff. A shaker, shimmy, shake, strike, which I use for everything. Take this off. And that's it for the drums. So that's probably the main kind of chunk, because most of it is low end and drums. The lead sounds. Again, a little bit of clipping, just catching them peaks. And a small bit of compression. I think with this track I was having trouble with random peaks all the while, so I think I've gone through and put a clipper and compression on every group when I was kind of mixing, just trying to get them levels a bit more stable. So we just got a lead here from Diva. I'd obviously tried some crystallizer on it. I'm not sure if that's on or off in release version. Some duck. For some reason I've ducked this here. I obviously didn't like that. And then some soothe. Just take these off to listen. I just wanted to tame it a bit for whatever reason. It wasn't have been feeling nice to me at the time. So I've just shaped it a bit. We've got this lead here. Which again, you can see I've just literally duplicated this one. I changed that, took the dynamic one off there, pushed that up a bit, but I've left that kind of area in. Nowadays, if I felt like I was having build up in that area, I'd probably just do it on the group. I'm on the wrong one now. Let's have a look. And then I've left the same soothe on, so I've not even turned that off. Which again now, and maybe not, or maybe I wouldn't have done it in a full group, but I'd probably just group these together now if I wanted them to be kind of one sound and was processing each of them similar. And I've got this here, which is just this sound, but I've kind of, I think, processed it with some like Portal or something and then reversed it just to add a bit of kind of texture and interest to the overall thing. And same with this. This will be again one of the sounds where I've kind of bounced it down with some kind of effects on it and reversed it, and I'm using it as a atmosphere. And I've just kind of I've just kind of band past it. Added some shimmer, made it more into like an atmosphere thing. Got these chords, which I really like. No, nothing crazy on this. I obviously tried this out at one point. Again, I don't know if that's in the final version or not. Again, nothing crazy with that. So if you hear it all together, you've got, go from here actually. Now to the kind of pads and pianos and stuff. That's all there is in the group there, nothing crazy. This kind of top pad stringy thing. No processing whatsoever. This piano stereo. So these are the same piano, obviously one stereo, one's mono. I think because I was getting some issues when I was checking it in mono. I think it's just this piano that I use. I don't always do this, sometimes I'll just keep it as it is, but I think with this one it really was losing quite a bit, so I just created two versions of it, this one and but they'll be processed kind of the same. There's no TT on it. Ozone, which is I'm just using for the imaging, so I was obviously trying to do something with this before I laid it up with the mono one. Some minor EQ. I've pushed the gain up on there because I've brought the velocity down. Oh no, I haven't. Or have I? So look. Oh yeah, so yeah, I brought the velocity down on these notes. So I've just pushed it up a bit with the utility. And then the mono one, I'm guessing I've used Ozone to mono it, yeah. So there's that. These strings. Barely anything going on there. And then this main pad. As you can see here, I've just duplicated the piano channel, turned off the imager and the utility, and then just added some simple EQ on it. So it must have been. So I obviously didn't want that kind of airy, kind of crispy high end on that pad. And a lot of times with my pads and pianos, I do just take out a lot of the highs and leave the space there for other elements I want to sparkle there. So that's the kind of pads piano section. Then the atmospheres, all super simple. You have this. EQ there. These birds are these in most tracks. Nothing on them at all. This drone. Then we've got these little kind of ear candy. I'll just add it in every now and then. The effects, nothing on the group, and this super simple stuff, a cymbal, nothing at all on it. Some white noise. Sweet. And this. Usually I'd add a bit of reverb on these, but I haven't here. And that's it. On the stereo bus, I've got, I don't think I've done anything. I've turned off the Saturn. That's it. So as you can see with this one, there's really not much going on in terms of processing. It's very simple, which a lot of my stuff is, but I think this one, for this kind of track, is probably on the more simple side of my stuff. So thanks for checking this out. Leave a comment below if you like it, subscribe, and hopefully I'll see you on the next one. Peace.